Evening, folks. Hell yes, we are doing it live. On a Friday, no less. Let me just whack that up there. Or is it a bit too high up? I don't know. That'll do. That'll do. It's fine. How's everybody doing? It is Friday. Hopefully everyone's doing fine. Since this is a hobby nightmare thing, I think it might be best. Let me just put that up a bit. There we go. There we go. I think it might be best if we get rid of this background and we whack on this background. There we go. Good old Grey Knight. And do you know what we'll do? Special occasion, we'll whack me a bit higher there. Lovely. There we are. How are you guys doing? It's Saturday for me. Well, where are you, man? You in Australia or somewhere? Ah. You in Oz? A little bit smaller. Hey, Corey. Oh, New Zealand. There you go. Makes more sense. Does Kaya ever get off the... Sorry, I'll finish that sentence. The Tyrannid train? Like, ever? Does it ever happen? Who knows? It's going to be a good live stream. I think it will be too. Mainly because we're going to be doing the Hall of Fame, or the Hall of Shame of Hobby Nightmares. Doc will be joining us in a minute. That is Board from our esteemed YouTube community. He's played in Cyberpunk 2087 with us. We will be playing this weekend. I know a few of you have been asking me when that's going to go ahead again. This weekend is the time. We're going to be back on Sunday to finish that off. So that's going to be awesome when we get to do it. It's going to be awesome. In fact, that's why the background's like this. It will be changing to 40k pretty soon, but right now, it's staying Cyberpunk for obvious reasons. But yeah, what I need you to do, and I know we've got 16 or so people watching right now. If you've been watching Hobby Nightmares, if you have a favourite Hobby Nightmare that you want to call out, that you want to have in the Hall of Shame, let us know. We will talk about it on stream, and we will decide if it goes in or not. I've got my own people I want to go into the Hall of Shame, but this is a democracy. This part is a democracy. You guys get to vote me in or out. We'll make our cases. We'll vote for them in the chat, and then they'll go in or not. I think we're going to do about 5, and I think we will do like 5 every time we do this. So there may be like one now, one in a few months, you know, that kind of a thing. Jen Sable first says, "Hi North, as I said before, my classic nightmare is Hat One, where an Uber neckbeard labelled himself as being a being of logic before totally flipping out in a game of Catan. The Nightmare of Nick." I think I remember that one, yeah. Yeah. They're always beings of logic, aren't they? Thing is, though, I've said that in the past too, right? Where I've said, hey, you know, as a guy, you've got to like rely on logic a lot more than other things. But calling yourself like a being of logic is something else entirely. Now that's pretty crazy. Not gonna lie. Any of those Epstein-type folks deserve a special pit in hell. There'll be a few of those. Yeah, there'll be a few of those. I mean, here's the thing, right? I don't think everybody will absolutely deserve to be with everybody else, if you know what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? There'll be a few people in the Hole of Shame that should be there, but maybe not as much as some others, you know? Like does somebody who cheats at 40k really deserve to be in there with a predator of one kind of description or another? Probably not. So there may have to be different wings, you know, of the Hall of Shame. The circle of our hells. There may need to be a few circles here and there. But we'll see. We'll see. We will be voting for them, so it's not as if it's going to be us dictating to you like who the worst hobby nightmares are. I'm only going to have one myself that I'm going to try and put in, but it is a goodie. It's a goodie. So yeah, I will be doing that myself. Yeah, my stream looks a lot better on my phone than it does on my computer. Maybe that's normal. Hey, Fire Knight, how's it going, dude? Yeah, it looks a lot better on my phone than it does. Anyway. This is why we get more people watching on phones than we do anywhere else. Anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Let's dive in, shall we? Should we get bored on the call? I'll give him a minute or two just so he knows what he's doing, and I will put on my lovely headphones. Oh. Yeah. Lovely old job. There we go. Hello. Are you there?
How's it? Yeah, I'm here.
Excellent. Excellent. Fantastic. So I've explained what's going on. I've explained we're doing the Hall of Shame, right? I'm thinking we're going to do 5 people getting inducted. And not every wing has to be the same. I reckon we do like 3 different levels of the Hall of Fame, with the top one being like, you know, your 40k cheaters, you know, your unpleasant people in the game. The second one being like the people who've like really gone above and beyond, like dicks, like really, really, you know, thunderfucks. That's where they are, right? And then the absolute bottom rung, like the lowest of the low, with a pineapple up their arse, will be like your SAs, your predators, people like that, right? So we'll go with that.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, this is Board. He is, we may refer to him as Doc on here because that's how most people on the stream will know him. He was playing Cyberpunk with us, and he is probably the worst medic ever on any game ever. Actually, yeah, I think I'm gonna go. Yeah, probably ever. So
You're such a dick.
Well, you know, I mean, if my character dies on Sunday because, you know, you just couldn't stay alive long enough to actually heal him, then I guess we'll be deciding who the dick is.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, everyone.
Do you have... Right, so everyone in chat, get your submissions ready for the Hall of Shame 2025 Part 1. I'm going to start recording because I'm going to put this on the channel next week. Alright, let me start recording. Try not to swear in the first couple of minutes, but it doesn't matter if you do, because YouTube are quite forgiving of that these days, at least with me. So anyway, touch wood. Right. Hello, folks on YouTube. Say hello, chat, to folks on YouTube. Hello. We're going to be doing the Hall of Shame. Right, I'm going to explain this for the third time now, because there's 3 different people who have joined who need it explaining to. First one was chat, second one was Board, who was our co-host today, and thirdly is obviously you joining us on YouTube. We are going to be doing the Hall of Shame, which has 3 levels. So these are for the absolute worst people who have ever been on Hobby Nightmares. Ever. Right? The worst. Okay? Your first level is they're still in the Hall of Shame, so this is, this is not good, right? This is awful, right? But these are your 40k cheats. Your bad war gamers, your bad sportsmen. People like that. You know what I mean? The one-time guys where you met them once and you're going, God, that guy sucked. That guy really sucked. Second level down, we're going to be doing the people who made other people's lives a misery. Really bad exes, people who cheated on people. Things like that, right? Things that went above and beyond. Extracurricular dickery is going to be level 2. Level 3 are your SAs, your predators, guys who have literally ruined lives or maybe about to, or have gone to jail, or things like that, right? That's level 3. So I think we can both agree, Board, that my co-host for today, that not everybody deserves to be on the same level. Do you know what I mean?
Not at all. It was one of the things when you asked me to have a look at what are the worst ones. Turns out, everyone, North has a lot of horrible people in his nightmares. Shocker, I know.
I mean, it's
but you have to, but you have to come up with some of the worst ones. So it was very difficult to determine, do we go with the worst people that have been in actual hobbies, or is it just the hobbies are saving the people at the end, but actually it turned out to be the horrible ex that was basically ruining someone's life?
I think redemption arcs we can kind of disregard, right? Because anyone who's had a redemption arc in Hobby Nightmares is kind of like, it's kind of goes with the name redemption arc, right? The reason why I will be putting this on the channel as a post as well. So next time we do this, everybody will get their say. I wanted this to be for the people who turn up to a live stream, right? So they're going to get the say first. I think me and you have both got 1 or 2 people who'd like to go in. So we'll make our case to chat. We'll make our case to chat, and we'll see if they can vote our people in or out. It's like that show Room 101 back in the day. Where, do you ever know what that is, Board? Do you know what that is? Room 101, the show?
No, that's escapes me.
So it was a show in the UK where somebody would go onto this TV show and they talk to the host about something that they really hated, and they want this thing to go into Room 101 to never ever be seen again. And they'd make their case for it, and then they would vote it whether it's going to go in or not. Basically, that's the show. They get these famous people to say things that they really, really, really hate. Some of them were really weird, but some of them were really justified as well. So that's what this is, right? We're going to be putting our case forward for different people who could go into the Hall of Shame. I mean, being in a Hobby Nightmare is bad enough, but like going to the Hall of Shame is really bad. So we're going to make our case to see whether these people are going to go in or whether they're not going to go in, and then chat is going to tell us whether maybe we got it right, maybe we got it wrong, how we're going to go about this. And chat can give us their own as well, and we can vote on those. So, do you have one in mind that you'd like to put forwards as the very first, the premier person who could be going into the Hall of Shame?
Well, thought about it a lot. I managed to run down all the Hobby Nightmares to about 12 of possible nominees.
Wow.
But I think I got the one that I have to mention, if you weren't going to mention them first. And I've got the people's names here and the video titles, so people can go check them out if they haven't heard them or want to re-listen to them. And that is, of course, Jensen, the original. The man from the Drop Site Massacre. There are 3 whole videos of this guy. You also had, for the first time, someone submitting an email about Jensen, And then the next email that is read out is also happens to be about Jensen. I don't believe North that was intentional. I think that just happened.
I think at the time I was just, this is in the days where it was early days, where I was just kind of reading them out as they came in, because I was only getting like 8 or 9 a week, and so it was literally, I was like, isn't this the last guy? And then later on, in the second Hobby Nightmare, he said, oh yeah, that Jensen guy, yeah, you read him out the other week, and I was like, oh my god. So yeah, Jensen was a special case. If I remember correctly, Jensen was essentially not, I think I said this at the time, he's not offensively bad. Like, he's not ruining anybody's lives. He's not like being an absolute, menace to society. But he is, he's so bad and so unpleasant, he's turning up in independent Hobby Nightmares, which is crazy. Yeah. That's crazy.
So I have his crimes written down here. Okay. Just for anyone who wants to know, this was from Eck, Banjo, and Cromwell through separate Hobby Nightmares. The videos are, I'm a Games Workshop manager and I'm losing my mind. The Epic Tale of Jensen. That's the second video, I believe. The first video was actually a 40k cheater feels the wrath of the dice gods. That's the first video. That's the one with the Dropside Massacre. And I believe there's a third video, which is, if you just type in Jensen, the finale, I believe it will come up. His crimes are this. He brings coasters with wooden boards as proxies for drop pods. When was specifically asked, don't bring anything stupid like Coke cans or something. He brings half-built, unpainted or primed miniatures to a game, missing arms and heads. Brings illegal terrain made from Lego. Basically, he wanted to make sure that his units could cover the entire top of the terrain, so no one could get on top and charge him, and he could just, shoot you until you die. He wanted a shooting match. He had the irritating laugh example, my rhino shoots your boys. Oh, I am going to charge. Oh. He plays with unclear dice, so you can't tell whether it's a 6 or a 1. You just have to assume what he's saying is correct. Makes up crazy rules, for example, a 2-foot range for flames weapons, because he says he's salamanders.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
But one of his biggest offenses at the time was he knocked over someone's model and responded with, well, you should have glued your model better. When it breaks. Gives unwanted advice in people's games and presents as a polite person and then targets new players.
This is like the checklist, isn't it? Like of all the worst traits of a 40k player melded into one person. Now, usually, I would honestly have a bit of a, how do I put it? I'd be smelling lies. Do you know what I mean? At this point, because I'd be like, well, is anyone really this bad? But then when he comes up again, I think it was 3 times in the end, wasn't it? I think it was like 3 times. 3 different people wrote in about the same guy without knowing each other. Maybe these guys did not know each other. They hadn't spoken before. They're like, yeah, I don't know who that guy is in the last story, but I think I go to that club. I think it's the same guy. And then another guy's like, yeah, it's the same guy. Like, because I know the first guy in the story very vaguely, but the other guy I don't know. But yeah, he does exist. So,
well, the one I know for a fact was the actual manager of the store and speaks about what led to actually his banning.
Yes. So, oh yeah, he gave clarification, didn't he? Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't think how we can't put Jensen in the Hall of Fame, the Hall of Shame. Let's vote for it.
Yeah, well, vote for it. Yeah, you did say, I think in the video, that you wanted to use Jensen as the name instead of Dave's, upsetting all the Daves all the time.
Does Jensen go into the Hall of Shame? Right, let's see what people vote. He can't not go in, right? He can't not go in, let's be honest.
Someone in chat did say correctly, he was basically banned from pretty much every store in the area. and they were his last option until he was eventually banned from them as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that was the other thing I almost forgot, is that the person who submitted the nightmare was telling someone about Jensen, and they said they knew a guy that from 20 years ago that pulled the similar sort of stuff. And Jensen walks in, and the guy says, "That's the guy from 20 years ago."
That's awesome. That's brilliant. It's him. It's the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's so funny. Best of luck, Fat Rat Man. Hope you're still there. But he says, well, welcome North. Yeah. Why are you welcoming me? It's my stream. Please wish me good luck that I finish my Black Templars before the Sunday tournament. Hey, you'll get it. You'll get there, man. You'll get there. You'll get there. Hikari says he's the essential tournament bro horror story. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. Okay.
Yeah. And then he also pulls the, well, I've been in the hobby so long, I deserve respect, just because.
Do you know what?
From the younger players.
That is one of the things that absolutely irks me so much, because, you know, if you work in the hobby, you'll get them all the time. I think it's a phenomenon that's come up in recent Hobby Nightmares more than old ones. Is that dude who comes into the store and he's like, yeah, you need to know me because I run a Discord group.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't. You bloody loser. like who are you? Like, yeah, you need to know me because I run a Facebook group. It's like, no, I don't. Like, you running a Facebook group means you're exactly the opposite of the person I want to know. Do you know what I mean? You've got that much time. You can run a Facebook group about 40k. Like, come on, dude. Who said no? Right. Somebody put no. Man up or woman up and come in the chat and tell, why did you say no? Like, we got 8 people saying no, 1 person saying... 8 people saying yes, 1 person saying no. I want to know who that is. I want you to justify your choice. Unless you've got a better one. I think I've got a better one. But mine's more general. I bloody knew it was her as well. It's always a Tyranid coming in and infecting the chat with yeah. I hope your boss shouted at you for hearing me over your speakers. That's all I can say. Right, let's end that vote. All right, so Jensen is the first member. Let's give him a round of applause. First member of the hall. The Hall of Shame is Jensen. He goes in. Awesome. 1 second. There we go. I'm going to get myself a nice... Here we go. Well done, Jensen. He's in there. He's taking a bow. As he should. As he should. You know, it takes effort to do things like that. It takes effort to ruin everybody's day in the way that he has. So well done to him. All right. Well done, Jensen. Right. Next, I think we're going with my shout now because I've got a. It wasn't even you. Oh, okay. Well, I apologise, Kaya. So my shout now is going to be not Pirate King. All right, not Pirate King.
Oh.
It is Pirate King's ex-girlfriend who appeared in his Hobby Nightmare. If any of you remember the first Pirate King episode we did of this legend that is this busker from I think he was from Montreal. I think he's from Canada, or he wasn't from Canada, but he ended up there. This street busker, earning a good living, loves 40k, but he doesn't have a lot of confidence in his life. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't really know what's going on. You know, he's getting on with it, but you know. And then a woman enters his life, and things start getting rebuilt, and things start going very well for the young man. And she proceeds to basically tear down every single fabric and part of his life from the hobby onwards for years. And I think I'm partly going to put Pirate King in here because his reaction to this drove me nuts. I think it's the first time I've actually screamed on a video. Not the last, but certainly the first. Where he just keeps going back to her. and keeps giving her chances, even though like she's cheating on him and she's running him through the ringer. And I still think to this day she's one of the most unpleasant people I've ever read about, because what she was doing wasn't just bad. It was kind of like a spider picking the limbs off of a fly. Do you know what I mean? It was like, you didn't need to do that one. Like, you didn't need to do that. Like, that's just ridiculous. And again, normally I would absolutely be erring on the side of caution, going, well, did this really happen? I actually conversed with Pirate King for a long while after his episode came up, and he did not strike me as the kind of guy who would tell lies. Like, he was absolutely harsh on himself, and he was taking responsibility for all things he was doing in his life that weren't going very well. And he got his advice, and he did quite well. I think we lost contact after a while, because essentially, you know, my work was done. You know what I mean? We're not going to meet in real life, so my work is done. He's doing better. He's got someone on his side. He's joined the Discord. He's having a good time, and he got on with it, and his life got better. So there was a happy ending for Pirate King. But that woman, I swear to God, I think you can even see I'm not on camera at the time. I wish I was, because you could see the vein bulging in my forehead when I'm reading about this person. So yeah, I will go with Pirate King's ex-wife or ex-girlfriend. So Pirate King's ex-girl going in the Hall of Shame.
The one I thought you would nominate.
Now, let's see.
Yeah, definitely one of the worst people ever.
Oh, yeah.
I did try to listen to it recently because I thought, obviously, it would come up. But, yeah, just... And, you know, tough life, Pirate King. He already had his gran, I believe he said, made him have to work to show why he should exist.
Yes, that was it. Yeah, yeah. She said, why should you exist? You're not even working. It's like, what? And yes, Rolando, she did that too. She sold his 40k stuff and got rid of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that too. Norn Queen says, "Are you saying she wasn't his one piece after all?" I think you need to go in the Hall of Shame for that. To be honest with you, I think that needs to be organised. It's not good.
And I believe it didn't even stop there. Even when she left him to go, because initially I think she wanted a polyamorous relationship.
Yes.
And then she went off with that guy, and then phones him basically saying that Pirate King is the abuser and needs to confront him, and like calls him up and has her new boy on the phone with her, like, do you need me to speak to him? I'll speak to him.
There's nothing worse than simp tough guys. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're obviously with this conniving person, and to look tough, you like, and you do it over a phone. Like, dude, we both know, if you're Pirate King, that's what you say. We both know, dude. Like, you're doing this over the phone for a reason. Like, how about this? I'm going to be at this square in 20 minutes. And I will wait there for an hour. Okay? She knows what I look like. She can send you over. It's not going to happen, though, is it? Let's be honest. Because, you know, these people don't never do that. But, like, yeah, you're right. Like, it's the fact that she left and made him miserable and feel worthless. And then she kept coming back. Like,
yeah.
Like herpes. Just kept coming back, like, just time and time and time again. And yeah, man, it was just okay. We're gonna end the voting there. Didn't Pirate King nearly get jail time in the story? I don't think so. I think he thought he was gonna get into trouble, and he didn't, because he didn't do anything. But anyway, Pirate King's ex is in the Hall of Shame. She's there. Congratulations to Pirate King's ex. Well done to her. I mean, She is on level 2. Jensen is the king of level 1. She is on level 2. She did ruin somebody's life outside of the hobby. So congrats to her. Congrats to her. Awesome. Fantastic. All right. Who's next? Who are we going with next, board? Do you have anyone there you want to throw in?
Yeah, I have a few. It's so hard to pick from these next 3. But I'm going to go with... Oh, no, now my mind. You know, I have to go with this guy now that we're talking about the worst. I was going to go with Frankie, who was going to be my number 2, but I have to go with Clive, the arsonist.
Okay, explain.
So, this is from Staten. The video is called "The Worst Customer Ever. I am absolutely livid." Brackets Angry North.
Sorry, it's reminding me of my titles, my rampant clickbait titles.
Awesome titles.
Sorry, go on. Go on.
No. Fantastic. One of my jobs today, chat, is I want to see if I can get North raging again, if we can get some free rants and some additional rants. Okay, so Clive gives unwanted advice on how to raise a child. Basically, a parent is talking about getting their kid into 40k, and he says, you must let your kid do whatever they want, even if they want to play with Barbies or stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He then complains about the store not being a very safe space. And then in D&D, plays a morphing character that morphs into another player's panties.
Remember this.
Gets banned, and then burns down the hobby store and steals stock.
Like, it's got, like, yeah, I mean, that's ridiculous. Are you sure that's the same Hobby Nightmare? Is that the same guy?
Same guy. I was very thorough, North.
Okay.
I went and re-listened to these ones to make sure that I had the facts. This is 100% the same dude.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And luckily they had good insurance. They were able to get the stuff back, and I think GW was actually, for once, very good and gave them a bunch of free stuff to refill his stock.
I'm searching my emails for Clive to see if I can read that out again for all time's sake, but no, I can't find it. Okay. Yeah.
From Staten.
Oh my god. Oh my days. Rolando says, was that a trans person or a furry who burnt down the store? Ralphie says, yes. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Let's. I don't think we need any more on this. Let's vote. Is Clive going in? Going into the
arsonist
of shame. Is Clive the arsonist? Do you? A lot of these are slam dunks, I will say. Do you have any ones that are maybe borderline?
Okay. Yeah. If you want me to throw out another one.
Yeah, throw a curveball, because
okay.
I've got a few, but I'm enjoying listening to them more than talking about them, because I talk about them. You know what I mean? Like verbatim. Like I always talk about them. So
of course.
I'm finding it nice to have someone else. Like it's like I'm listening to somebody doing Hobby Nightmares. Not that I want anybody else to do Hobby Nightmares. Don't steal my shit. But like, you know.
There's some people trying to do your stick, by the way. I'm seeing them starting to come up.
Are they? I know
Similar
them.
stuff. I see some people sort of doing 40k nightmares.
All right. I know Den of the Drake does stuff, but he does D&D stuff. He doesn't really do.
No, not Den of the Drake. I know Den of the Drake. He has a few 40k ones that come in.
Mm-hmm.
But no, there's some other guys. But I haven't looked.
I noticed Mordian doing one about a tournament. I see you. I see you up there.
Morning.
I see you. I got you. I caught you.
All right.
Don't me. Gimmick
Here's
infringement.
one that.
Oh, by the way,
might
before
not
we carry on, he is also in the Hall of Shame. So we need to give him a sterling round of applause for Clive. Well done for burning down your store and all of the other things you did. They're kind of paled in comparison to burning down private property, actually. But there we are. A lovely round of applause for you, my friend. In you go. Don't let it hit you in the arse on the way in. Right. Who's next?
All right. Here's one that might not be as like. These two are probably iffy. The one is just very personal to me. That just drives me up a wall. Okay. We have Dave the Wolf Pup.
Okay.
This is from Vass.
I remember this.
Bosch.
Yeah.
The worst tournament opponent, Hobby Dad loses touch with his 40k hobby. He insults paint jobs, standard with a lot of Daves.
Yeah.
Not the good Daves, the bad Daves.
Yeah.
Before all Daves now decide to string me up.
No, they're all bad.
Says Lehman Russ is great, Magnus sucks, and that everyone else should just play Space Wolves.
Standard Space Wolf behavior, but go on.
Just so everyone is clear, and if they didn't hear from my voice, I also actually don't like Space Wolves at all.
Mm-hmm.
So North and I have that in common.
Yeah.
And then he gets beaten by a massive Noise Marine kit bash, which is basically a Noise Marine on top of some sort of mech.
I remember this.
Or walker,
yeah.
But they have an inbuilt speaker.
Yeah. Didn't they give us a video? There was a video, wasn't there?
There is a video, yes.
Yes, I remember this one.
Yeah. Have a little clip of the Noise Marine with the speaker, and it was what hobbyists can do is pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
absolutely. Was anything else from this, Dave, or is that it?
No, nothing else.
Okay,
so just the Lehman Russ is the greatest thing ever.
No, I'm going to stick up for Dave here.
Sucks.
No, I'm going to stick up for Dave here. I know chat's going to crucify me, but no, I'm going to... All right, so this guy is a hobby nightmare, don't get me wrong, because, like, shaming people for what their army choice and being serious about it is cringe and not something you should be doing. You know, Space Wolf fan, standard Space Wolf behavior, I get that. But the thing is it bad enough to go into the Hall of Shame? You know, is it bad enough to go in there with your Jensens? You know what I mean? Yeah. This would be like it'd be like sending a guy who's been in jail for, petty robbery going into the Supermax wing. And it's like, well, should he really be there? You know, probably not. I would be up for any dissenting opinions if anyone wants to talk about any dissenting opinions. I mean, I certainly can see somebody in a stall hearing this and being like, yeah, get this guy into the Hall of Shame. Like, wouldn't bother me at all. But I don't think we're going to be seeing it. No? Okay.
That's Dave the Wolf Pup.
Well, Dave the Wolf Pup, you got off lightly, my friend. You got away with it. But make sure you book your ideas up because, the Hall of Shame's waiting there, son. It's there. And the pineapples are sharp and they don't go in the short way, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, what are we doing next? I want to stick with this. What have we got next on the list?
All right, here's another light one that might not be the worst. And this is from our really great friends, John and Sarah.
Oh, John and Sarah. No. Do you know what's going to be? You know what's funny? Like, they're probably, like, having sex right now. And, like, this is on. This is on in, like, the living room. Like, oh my god, stop, we're on TV. And they're going to the room.
we know John's a Slanishi fan, so I wouldn't be surprised.
So there'll be some freaky stuff going. Yeah, but to be fair, for him being a Slanesh fan, they are really wholesome and very. I don't know if they are Christian, but it seems like they're very Midwest. They seem very missionary. They seem very nice people. Do you know what and their story was really nice as well. So I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Like, there are some weird Slaanesh fans where they really don't conform to the stereotype. And John,
Yeah.
I've never met the dude, but from what Sarah says about him, does strike me as somebody who doesn't really fit. I think he's an ex-policeman, like, you know what I mean. So he really doesn't fit the stereotype. Yeah, it really doesn't fit the stereotype. But anyway, moving on. Carry on.
Yeah, he doesn't fit, I believe, the stereotype, but this Hobby Nightmare, I think, might, as this is about Josh the Lustful.
Okay.
So John has a forged world keeper of secrets. And the question is, Josh has heard tales that it has, shall we say, not to get North demonetized, but a female part.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know what you
Follows
mean.
John around, begging to see it.
Mm-hmm. He
Constantly wants to see it because he says this is his only chance to be able to see it. Talks about how, it's not wrong to, have the hots for an alien. I believe he had a Tau commander or something, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
And after writing up the story, Sarah wants to see it, and turns out no goods, I'm afraid, people.
Yeah, no demon camel toe. There's no.
No.
There's nothing there. I mean, at the end of the day, I think rather than like accusing dudes who are a bit weird of being, into grape and things,
Yeah.
people asking for things like this, even if they don't do it, it kind of lets you know why it happens. Because, like, this is the kind of reptilian brain move that is like, that's why people go to prison for things like this, right? It's dudes like this. Now, this dude obviously isn't acting on anything, but he is clearly very frustrated and very, either extremely strange or extremely frustrated, or both, right? It is weird. It is very, very, very strange. It's the fact that he comes back for seconds, and when he's been told no, he's like, well, it's all right to, look up a demon's skirt. I mean, it's not harming anybody. It's a normal thing to do.
Well, he follows him around the whole tournament.
Yes.
Like, that's the other thing. It's not just one interaction. It's this dude creeping you out and following you around the whole tournament.
Yes. I tell you what, we're going to do a round of applause for Sarah and John for having a baby.
Yeah, Sarah and John. One thing I do have to ask Sarah and John, because it's been killing me inside. Was there a demon on top of the cake at the wedding?
On top of the cake?
Yes. Was the topping a demon? We have to know.
Well, I
One
think
of the models made it on top of the cake.
I mean, you can name the kid North if you want. I'm not going to say no. Just saying. But
North. This is our son North.
At least let me officiate the wedding, right? Get married again.
Yeah,
let me just turn up as Elvis. Like, hey. Uh-huh. Yeah. So let's vote on it. Let's vote on it, right? Let's vote on it. Is
Josh the Lustful.
Josh the Lustful going in the Hall of Shame? Let's see. I think we'll put him in level 1 if he does go in.
I'm not actually sure now that I've read out the story how I feel about it.
Yeah,
I'm like, I could go 50-50 on it.
I was really going down the route of him going in. This is a close vote. Like, I was really going down the route of him going in, but now I'm not too sure. Yeah.
I'm not even going to vote, actually. I'm going to let chat decide, because I can't tell. I'd be fine, actually, either way.
Brandon's brought up something that I've not heard. What about the absolute unit of a legend who shot his date and left for dead outside the safe room? I remember that. That's amazing. It's amazing you remembered that, but like that, yeah.
I don't remember that story at all.
Yeah, so there's...
How have I not heard that one?
Yeah, so this dude just like drills. I mean, when I say drills his date, not in a good way. Yeah, literally when they're playing Left 4 Dead, and then just like is just not remorseful about it at all. Just like completely, just completely iron grip on the controller. Finite says, I don't know if this fits, but North, do you remember the Ballad of Ron the Nurgle Lord? Dude's friend putting Minnie into the human Nurgle swamp. I think the person writing him was named Jay. Well, right. Let's see if we're doing this. Is there, everybody? We go for. All right. So I tell you what, Josh, you got a reprieve. You're not going in to the Hall of Shame. So well done. But try not to perv over. If you can make Slanesh feel kind of awkward and icky, that's not good. Right. I actually have one, and yeah, it's so over Christmas last year, but right before New Year's, I read out a story. I'm gonna change the names because I've forgotten them, but I'm gonna call them. Let's call them Dave and Jensen. Why not? Right.
Yeah.
So, Dave has been in school with Jensen for a long time, and Jensen used to always do like icky stuff with him. So like he spit food in his face, things like that, as kids are wont to do, as you do.
Yeah.
And they lose touch for a long time afterwards. Anyway, Dave goes away and begins working several jobs and is doing really well for himself, and he ends up coming back, and he essentially starts 40k Wellington University, and he comes back home and he meets Jensen in a pub just randomly, all grown up. I'm like, oh dude, how's it going? How's it going? Yeah. And of course, a few beers start flowing and conversation goes around to Warhammer. And Dave says, oh, I'm into Warhammer. Jensen says, so am I. Like, oh, brilliant, fantastic. We should get together for a battle. Absolutely, brilliant, no problem, great.
I think I remember this one.
So Dave goes round to Jensen's house, right, and it's a bit of a shit tip. Not gonna lie, bit of a shit tip. And he goes in there and they play the game, and Jensen has no compunction about cheating whatsoever. He just not playing a good game, and he eyes up a lieutenant. A Space Marine lieutenant that Dave has.
I'm sorry, I got
and he says, that guy really needs rebasing. He needs rebasing. And Jensen says, Dave says, well, no, he doesn't. I like his base hour as it is. He goes, no, he really needs rebasing, dude. Let me rebase him for you. Anyway, the night goes on and Dave's not having fun, and he goes, you know what, I'm going to go to the toilet, I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to make my excuses and go, right? So he goes to the toilet, he comes back, and, he's like, okay, whatever. And Jensen says, actually, I also need the toilet, so I'll be right back as well. Okay, fine. So he goes. Dave's just wandering around the kitchen, and he realizes that the Space Marine lieutenant has gone, right? And he's like, what's going on? And more and more time goes by, and he ends up going, do you know what, I've just had enough of this, I'm going to go confront him. I've just had the worst night. And he opens the door, he knocks on the door to the bathroom, and the door just opens to Jensen standing facing the toilet with the Lieutenant Space Marine up his arse, like literally up his arse crack. And I think I lost it when he said, like, the lieutenant was like almost reaching out for him because his hand was up. He was like out of his arse crack. It's like, help me, father.
Help me, father.
Like, yeah, literally. And he just leaves, and Dave comes running out. Jensen comes running out and says, "So yeah, do you want it back?" And he's like, "No, you keep it. You can keep it." And he packs up all of his stuff and leaves. And this man leaves his poor lieutenant You know, you would at least get him back and just give him an honourable burial. Like, you just go and get him away. You know? And, oh my god. Yes. Yeah, it is Ron the Nurgle Lord. Well, thank you very much, Finite. It is. I knew something had jogged my memory, right? I knew something had jogged my memory. So, are we putting in...
I just want to know why. Like, is it some sort of primal thing? Like, you want to put your scent on something? Or is it like some sort of tick where, like, you know something that the other person doesn't?
No, I think so. So it was linked to the... Originally, when I was reading it, I was like, why did he put in this thing where Dave is in... Ron, sorry, you know, is in school? Why did he tell us that story of him doing, like, weird, icky stuff in school? And it's because that's just who he is, right? And even when he's older, he tries to play a prank on his friend like he used to do back in the day, right? So he shoves a space marine up his ass. Yeah. It is Big Gun says, "Oh no, not the arse marine." He said as I was reading it out.
I was literally crying tears as you started reading it out.
Yeah, man.
Because of the imagery.
Like, I don't think I've laughed that hard on Hobby Nightmares. Like, I couldn't carry on. I was like, I think I was scheduled to do 4 that day, and I'd done 3, and I was like, nah, I can't. I'd just be sitting here giggling the rest of the night.
Boots Drew 11 says, "Never leave a man behind unless he's in a man's behind."
Yeah. Have you heard that Steve Hughes joke? He's
No, I don't think so.
He says he goes, "I've got this friend, British friend Mike, and he told me, you know, if you wear an earring in your right ear in the UK, it means you're gay." I said, "Ah, man, Mike, is that true that if you wear an earring in your right ear, it means you're gay?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "All right, crikey. In Australia, it's when you got your cock in another man's ass." Just, you know, as you do. As you do.
Oh boy.
We're way past the watershed now. We're at like 42 minutes, so I think we're past the YouTube gods. That was beyond a prank. That was a biohazard, says Gani. Yeah, I agree. Yes. Rolando.
So how's Ron doing in the?
This is the first one where we've had 100%, 12 votes, 100%. He's in. Like so. There we go. Ron, in you go, my friend. Well done. Well done. You've successfully made it as the king of Nurgle's circle here in the Hall of Shame. I mean, what more can you want? Shoving a model that far up your own extremities. Well done. And you got a free Space Marine. I mean, what more do you want? What more do you want? You got a free Space Marine.
Fully corrupted Space Marine.
Fully corrupted Nurgle Space Marine. Exactly. Right. What do we got next? We do a few more? I think we do a few more. Let's do a few more.
So. All right, I got one here. This one might get your blood pumping now. It'll take the laughter away and bring the rage out.
Let's bring us down. Bring us down.
This is from Despotic Horseman. This is Hobby Nightmare Army destroyed by toxic opponents. In brackets, extra North rage warning.
Okay.
So this was a big one. This one I almost lost it. So this is Frankie, the prick. Calls the original person a cheat loudly in front of the whole tournament. Measures incorrectly for any advantage. Complains about every little thing.
Yeah.
Despotic Horseman wants to help him move some of his Horus, Sons of Horus, across to him grabs him by the bases and moves them across over to him.
Mm-hmm.
Frankie says, with a menacing look on his face, "Sure, let me help you then." Grabs his mastodon, picks it up, and drops it on the hard tile floor.
Yeah, it wasn't this like the purposeful one where you like just holds it up and then just like literally drops it out of his hands. Oops.
Just picks it, drops it.
Yeah, I remember that.
And literally it was red. Picks it up and drops it. Not like pretends or mistakenly drops it.
Mm-hmm.
The mastodon, I believe its current price is $630. It breaks in half.
Did you get it repaired?
It did get repaired because the tournament overseer basically had a painting studio, I believed, and had a guy that basically repaired it for him at no charge. And I believe it was perfectly mended except for a small like scar at the bottom of the mastodon.
Ah, this is coming back. Yeah. These little details. Do you remember what year that was? Where you got that from?
I can bring it up.
Just curiosity. I'm not essential or anything.
2 years ago.
Okay, 2023. Okay. Yeah, this is the A1, stage 1 Hall of Shame. Do you know what I mean? Like literally ruined somebody's day in the hobby. Like, this is where we are, So, yeah, I absolutely do think that this is worthy of going in, because doing it, like going out of your way to accidentally put yourself in a position where you may harm somebody else's models is one thing, right? Doing it, the fact that it's on purpose, you've gone out of your way to pick up somebody's model, go oops, and like drop it straight on the floor. A mastodon of all things. These are big bricks as well, so they're not gonna.
Yeah.
So it's gonna take a lot of force to break that thing in half. Like, you can't just. I would say a mastodon would survive most drops. Maybe like an edge you'll break off or something, but to shatter it in half, that more sounds like a throw to me than a drop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, what makes it it's so egregious to any 40k player or 30k player, because I believe this was 30k.
Yeah, 30k. Yeah.
Is that the amount of time that you've put into your models? It's like a very personal thing, our hobby. Building your model, painting it, and everything. We don't want people touching our models, let alone smashing them. Like, if someone picks up your centerpiece and breaks it, I'd be shocked if things didn't get physical, which it did actually. This guy did take a swing.
Oh, did he?
The spotted horseman did take a swing and did clip him.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying you should. I'm just saying I'm not surprised it happened, and I'm not saying I would be a better person. I'm surprised that that's the point that things got physical.
Yeah, we're not endorsing it, but you can't be surprised if it happens to you.
Yeah, I'm not endorsing it at all, but I'm not surprised it happened.
So Bass Browser has a very interesting point. He says destruction of property isn't just a hobby nightmare, it's actually a crime.
Yeah,
which is true. So do we bump this kind of hobby nightmare up to level 3? Because level 3 is where crimes go. Usually crimes involving, kids and SA and different things like that. So I'm not sure it's on that level, but it is a crime. I think
it's teetering between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
It might just be on the edge if it is a 3.
Yeah, I reckon we put it in 2. I reckon we put it in 2 because, like, if it goes in. So, all right.
It's Frankie the prick.
Frankie the prick in the Hall of Shame. The one thing I'm impressed by, it's not just been in all the time. Do you know what I mean? It's been quite, it's been quite a balanced, I would say. Jen says, yeah, this is worse than picking up somebody's 400 quid games console up and smashing it on the ground, because you're doing this to someone's hard work and artistry as well as just the money. It's all those memories as well. It's the memories you have about, building the model, and getting it done and it being your labor of love, and then somebody's taken those memories and gone, nah, smashed on the floor. But yeah, let's scroll back through the chat, see what people are saying whilst they're deciding. Jen says, role-playing rule 1, any shape-shifting powers in a role-playing table is always someone to keep an eye on. Do you know what? I'm the same when it comes to bards in general. Like, yeah, if you're a bard and I see you, I would never really play D&D, but if somehow I'm playing D&D somewhere, something's going on, and one of you is a bard or bard adjacent, like the equivalent, I'm always keeping my eye on you. I'm like, nah, this person's going to do something weird, something pervy, something just, especially if you're playing a game like, not Call of Cthulhu, but Call of Cthulhu-like, where there are real consequences, like a horrific game. If you've got a player like that in your game, prepare to have your game ruined. They're going to be swinging on chandeliers. Oh, look at me. That kind of nonsense. And that's what you're going to be getting all the time. So, yeah, bards are getting a stern look from North when I'm playing these games. This is the second. So go on.
No. I was just going to say, how about if we get North to 40,000 subscribers by the end of the year, he has to play a bard in a D&D campaign.
I'll do that. It ain't happening, so I'll do that. Yeah, we're at 25.5 right now, so I'll definitely do that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Send it to your friends, everyone. Let's surprise North.
Absolutely. I'd do it as well. I'd do it. It'd be a one-shot campaign, because I'd get everyone killed straight away, but let's do it. Weirdly, this is the second 100% vote. Like, everybody voted Frankie into the Hall of Shame, so congratulations to Frankie for making your way into the Hall of Shame. I mean, I don't think anybody can really be, too surprised by this. But it is what it is.
I got an interesting one for you if you
Go ahead.
want another one.
Go ahead.
All right. So this isn't one person. This is one of North's favorite. It's a team. A team of dudes in matching nylon sports shirts.
Sweaty nylon t-shirts with little flames on them. That's what I love.
Oh yeah, this one does have flames on it.
Good.
This is from 40k tournament ruined by cheating team. This is from Captain General Mark. So the team arrives all in matching nylon sports shirt with flames on them. They enter together and then break formation as if they've practiced this like several times, heading to their respective tables. They move scenery around, make up stratagems. When a player goes to shake the Captain General Mike's hand, he slaps it away. I think he says, "Be honored, Chief," and slaps it. Shouts, "Another peasant falls," whenever they win the game.
Fantastic.
Guy who comes first was on the team, but was actually apparently an alright guy, but was disqualified because several of the team members were caught cheating at the tournament.
Until that last bit, I was like, because I remember reading this out, obviously, but until that last bit, I was kind of like going, do you know what? There's such a thing as being so unlikable, you become likable again. You know, like, you just don't give a shit. Like, that kind of, that was really funny. Like, all of that, all those antics, I'm behind until the cheating. Because then you just go back to being lame again, because, like, if you're going in there and you're actually really good at the game, and you act like that, that's still funny. I mean, it's still douchebaggery, don't get me wrong. It's, I don't want to be around something like that, but it kind of, you can kind of be redeemed that way. But doing it, this is, I don't know, dude. Do you reckon they're redeemed anyway by being like that bad?
The fact of the matter is, it was a whole team basically ruined a tournament for a number of people. It's not just one guy. It's basically several. It's not one guy ruining the tournament. It's several of these guys cheating, just making everything unpleasant. Like, it's funny with their matching flame t-shirts and stuff, but
Sorry,
but
just, if you're a
no,
if you're a grown man, I need to say this right now. I'm sorry, Vanguard Tactics, right? But I know maybe you watch these, maybe you don't. If you're a grown man and you go to a tournament for toy soldiers wearing what amounts to a darts player's jersey, and that's just. Do you know those kids in school where they were so nerdy, even you with loads of empathy went, mate, you're asking for it. Mate, you're asking for it.
People you're talking about.
Do you know? Yes, they're picking on you because, dude, stop doing that. When they're like in the hallway, shouting theme tune or catchphrases from Pokemon or Dragon Ball Z, and then they get beaten up, and you're like, dude, what did you? 2 + 2 = 4. Like, what do you want? Like, this is what they do. That's. If you go to a tournament and you wear gear like that, and then somebody takes the piss out of you, and you get offended by that, you are the least fun person in that room. Like by a country mile. If you go to that tournament in that t-shirt expecting a bit of a ribbing and you get it and you're a good sport about it, okay, fine, you redeemed yourself. But if you're the kind of person who goes to these things, and there will be many of them out there who go in there and go, how dare you, I think we'll find we were the 3rd place at the GT in Dicktown, and you're like, well, all right, fine, but I don't know, dude, like, yeah. I don't want to be a party pooper. I don't want to be the kind of guy who's like, sucks to be you. Why are you wearing a t-shirt? Stupid. Because we all collect toy soldiers, right? It's not a big deal. But at the same time, there are levels to this. Like, walking in with your man boobs. Do you know how bad man boobs look in nylon t-shirts? Like,
yeah.
Do you know what I
This is
mean?
not very common in South Africa. The nylon shirts at tournaments, not that I've seen.
Yes. So they don't look very good. Let me put it that way. They're not very flattering at all. You need a certain build to pull it off. I'm talking like you need like major kill build to even attempt to pull off a nylon t-shirt that's quite tight. And even he probably couldn't do it. You'd probably be like, that's why he wears like cotton and stuff. That's why I wear cotton, right? Because it just looks better. But you're sweating your bollocks off too. Dude, no, not for me. Anyway, this toxic team?
That's the team of cringe, is what the title I've called it. But yeah, it's cringy. They ruin a tournament, slapping someone's hand away.
Yeah, that's kind of
just
it's a bit much.
Just horrible behavior, and yeah. I think this is probably a level 1.
Oh yeah, it's not like a massive infringement. It's not like that they're sitting there being like, "Whoa, burn it all down."
I must say, one of my favorite images of when you're ranting about teams in nylon shirts is the sort of huddle, the sports huddle for Warhammer. All right, let's roll those dice, lads.
yeah. Sure, those dice, you boss. Come on. This is like, make sure you get your pointy, with your wibbly wobbly pointy red sticks out, lads. We're off to war. Let's do it.
The red sticks, I forgot about.
We're off to war.
Measuring the red sticks. Oh boy.
Jen says, believe it or not, a lot of furries feel this way about the cat ear, headphone and tail wearers in public. It's always a spectrum with nerds and their antics. Yes. Without realizing they're all part of the same umbrella. Indeed. I mean, like, one thing I will say for these teams is that if I ever brought my uncle or someone I didn't know what 40k was somewhere, seeing a team there would kind of legitimize it in their eyes. They're going, oh, right, it's an actual thing. Okay, cool. It's not just lads you're playing with toy soldiers. It's an actual game, right? That I will give it. But, it's still pretty cringe. And I'm too cynical and British to put up with that. I'm sorry. Like, I'm just looking at it going,
Yeah.
look at the moves.
Look, I will say this. If you're a club and you're just like wearing some shirts and because you want to like be as a group and it's sort of like brotherhood sort of thing, like, but when you take it like to such a level, like you're on an actual like rugby team or something like that, and it's as if you're playing like a sport. It's just, oh, dude,
Exactly.
it just, God, it makes me like feel bad for you.
Well, I'm going to take a quick break there. I can pause the recording. So I'm going to. So give me a sec. And then I'm going to go and get a drink. So I'll be right back. So don't go anywhere.
Well, I'll also do that myself.
All right. Entertain yourself, chat. It's only me. Back
That's
again. How's everyone
There's
doing?
quite a bit of a discussion in the chat about
Good.
the team.
Cool. I think the purple crown thing is the top fans thing. So, if you talk a lot, you get a little purple crown. There you go. Alright, let's carry on going, shall we? Alright, we are back. Awesome stuff. Jen brings up a good point there. Another potential interesting one is having terrible hobby friends is worse than having none at all, where you rename the submitter himself, who was ultra pompous, for leaving a friend behind. Yes. Now this very rarely happens. Very rarely. Where somebody who writes in, who thinks they're the hero, becomes the nightmare, right?
Oh, yeah.
They think they're writing in to get their 5 minutes of fame, even though it's a really small channel, but you know what I'm saying? To get their 5 minutes, and to be the hero, and to have everybody say, wow, you were so hard done to, you were so in the right. I can only imagine what a shock it is to like go on Hobby Nightmares and then have me like rinse you completely for being a dick to your friends. But it has happened a few times. Jen, could you put in... I mean, do you have that there, board, or can I ask Jen to describe?
That one is not in my list.
Okay.
It doesn't... I vaguely remember that one.
Okay, so Jen, whilst we carry on, could you write like a little short summary of what happened, and then I can see if it's going to go into the Hall of Shame or not. Anyway, board, you're our brains of the operation tonight. So what is next? What is next on the agenda of?
Well, I think we need to decide how's the vote going on our team of cringe.
Oh, we are at 16 votes, and we are at 69%. Way, yes, and 31% no. So, I'll let that run till 1:15. So in the next 30 seconds or so, and then we'll decide.
Well, all right. How will we do this? I'm gonna give you the titles of some of them, and you tell me which one you want to hear from. How
Okay.
about that?
Yeah, good. Hit me.
All right. So here we go. We have Andrew, the lazy lizard. We have the Imperial Tart and the Simp. We have Tweedle Doo and Tweedle Dead Dog.
Okay.
And we have Steph, the demonic girl Mum warns you about.
You've got to go with Steph. Gotta go with Steph. I mean, come on. Like, hobby MILFs? Come on, dude. Alright,
Well,
the toxic team is going in to the Hall of Shame. They're in. Nylon, man titties, and all. They're in. Well done. We're going to call this the Vanguard Tactics Award for really sweaty men in nylon t-shirts. It's hot. It's hot in the 40k tournament scene. It is hot. Some real hotties around. Anyway, Jen says, so that guy, he basically took the piss out of his friend for becoming a neckbeard and was absolute Nietzsche about it. And you could see it between, you could read it between the lines. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, it is one of those. You can just read them, can't you, between lines. But I want to hear about Steph, and then we'll decide where we're going from there. Let's hear about Steph first.
All right, so Steph, this is from Verbal. It's, as North put it, the worst person I have ever read about.
Wow.
In
at the time.
Emotional North.
Oh, at the time.
Okay. Now, you thought Pirate King drove you nuts. Well, let me remind you. Okay.
Boots Drew says, can you post links in the description when you're done to rewatch the Hall of Fame stories? I'm sure. I think Board's got them there somewhere, so we can...
I'll send the links of all of them to North, and he can put them in the description.
Yes.
All right. So Steph, as we know, the story very similar. Verbal meets Steph. She's wonderful, perfect hobby girl, and then things took a bad turn. She cheats on him, and I believe when she does, they're married.
Oh God.
Tears him down, puts cameras in the bedroom because she's worried he will cheat. Blames him for pretty much everything wrong in life. Later, becomes a dominatrix and uses their own house for what she calls play sessions.
When did I read this? How did this not stick with me?
This one, let's see.
What the hell?
This was 2 years ago, actually.
2023. Okay. Okay. All right.
And then to really set North off, the verbal tells North what has changed. Here's the big one, and I know this is really going to get North boiling. She comes back after leaving him for a while with the guy she cheated him with. Comes back, she's pregnant with that dude's kid.
Mm-hmm. Standard.
And then at the end of the hobby nightmare, when he asks what has changed, not much. He's still with Steph.
Yeah, okay. Right, yeah, okay. Like up until this, I was like, yeah, standard. You know, somebody being terrible to somebody else. Yeah, you know, standard. Now the fact that he's still with her, I need to hear from this dude. Verbal, is it? Is it verbal?
Yeah, verbal.
Yeah, verbal. Get in touch, man. I need to know what's going on, because this person took you for a ride, my friend. Like, she absolutely took you for a ride, hook, line, and sinker. This is a bog standard Warhammer fan having low self-esteem, can't believe this hot woman is going out with him, and will put up with nearly anything to keep her around. And we need to work on our self-esteem, bros, because this ain't it. Like, you need to tell her where to go, tell her what time it is, and get some self-respect, and go out with your bros. And if you don't have any bros, go out on your own, because that's what you deserve. Go out on your own, right? And let the world be your dojo. Let the world teach you what to do and what not to do, right? You've got mates, go with them, but absolutely ambiguous gender says brother is cooked. Yeah. When somebody called ambiguous gender is calling you a bit of a cook, my friend, then you got problems, right? That's where we are. I'm sure that's a tongue-in-cheek name, but matters not, still. Yeah. Yeah, this is a nightmare. This is fine. Yeah, this is an actual nightmare. Can you imagine being... No, to be fair, I'm going to say, can you imagine being in this guy's shoes? But you can't, can you? Because you wouldn't stick around. You'd be gone. The minute she starts getting weird and saying, hey, can we have cameras in the bedroom? You'd be, nah, I'm all right, thanks. How much is your train ticket? Yeah, that's where you're going. You're off. Goodbye. I'll pay for your rent somewhere else, so I don't want to live with you. Jen says, this goes for everybody as well. This is why people stay with people that are literally hitting them, etc. Yeah, Stockholm Syndrome, yeah. It's not just... Well, this is why, Jen, I didn't say, look at this woman. You know, no, I've used the word person on purpose, right? This is somebody who is not worth being around. And, yeah. If this doesn't turn into her going into, like... the Hall of Shame. If she doesn't go in, I may make an executive decision and put her in there anyway. But we'll see.
Yeah, I think his reasoning was why he hadn't left. He had been going to therapy, and that he realized Steph is a massive narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
but it's like not the classical narcissist. It's like one that's a bit more low key.
Right.
He said there are kids involved now. I think that was his reason.
Yeah, but they're not his.
Yeah, I know. I'm just telling you. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying that was his reasoning to you, saying he's not going to leave the kids with a narcissist of that caliber. That was his reasoning.
Didn't I get flack for
know.
this? I swear I got flack for my feedback on this one. Because I said something
I
like...
can't remember the feedback.
I think I said something like, yeah, they're not your problem. They're not your kids. They're literally not your problem. Like, absolutely not your problem. Like you don't have any responsibility to them. And people saying, well, what if he's been around for a few years? And I was like, well, yeah, but it's still his choice. Do you know what I mean? And I think the right one is to go, listen, am I going to live in resentment for the rest of my life and ruin these kids' lives even more because I'm going to be around them all the time, be resentful of my situation? Or is it best for me to bail out now? You know?
Well, the problem is that you can care for those kids and everything, but any moment she can leave and you have no like attachment to you have no recourse for those kids.
No.
They can just be taken away from you.
And they will, because you're a man.
Yeah.
Flip side is that people are saying, well, he just needs to put up with it, you know, things like that, because, you know, you can't do this to the kids. No, I'm sorry. No. It's the mother's made these choices. She gets to live in it. That's where it is. And if she is a narcissist, well, I'm very sorry, but, you know, I mean, you didn't make these kids. You didn't do any of that, right? So she needs to go find the baby daddy and go and hold him to account, not you. You need to get out of there this instant. And I'm very sorry that there's kids involved in there, and I'm very sorry that they're being left with a narcissist. I'm very sorry about that. But, like, you're asking me to give the seal of approval to you ruining your own life, and I'm not going to do it. So, yeah. Like,
Who said no? If you say no, you have to tell us why. Come now, for this one.
Who said
I really
no?
need to know why.
One person said no. Who said no? Come in the chat. I'm not going to have a go at you. I just want to hear your honest reasons, even if it's being a troll. Even if it's being a troll, I want to hear your honest reasons, and I won't judge. I might judge a little bit, but I won't. I won't have a go at you. He's Captain Saverho. We all know a guy like that. We do. We do all know a guy like that. Yes. Yes.
I'd never thought of it that way.
I know several.
I know the guys you're talking about.
I know several Captain Saverhos. Yes. Absolutely. I can change her. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's always the guys who've been out in the cold. If you remember that, like it's always the dudes.
Yeah.
It's never the dudes who are like going out and like killing it. You know what I mean?
No, well, they have options.
Well, that's what I mean. But like even, it's never the dudes who like. It's kind of like Pedro Pascal when he develops. Have you ever noticed Pedro Pascal never really has anxiety around ugly chicks or dudes?
Yeah.
You know, like it's kind of like that, right? It's the reverse of that. Like you know, the dudes who have options don't do that. They're like, yeah, why would you? Fire Knight says, I remember you getting some flack for your take for the dude who did sleep with other women other than his wife, though their marriage didn't fall apart. I remember that too. Yeah. So there was a dude who I don't think he'd done it yet. I think he was saying to me, he was wanting like tacit permission. He was saying, look, you know, we don't have like a full relationship anymore, like me and my wife, we don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
And he was saying, look, we're both really happy with each other, but I really need this. Like, it's part of my, like, it's screwing with my self-esteem as a man, and I don't know what to do, and I'm so unhappy. That's the only part of this I'm unhappy with. Everything else I love. And I was like, well, you need to have a talk with her then. You need to sit down and say, listen, if you're not going to provide this, then to stay in this marriage, I'm going to have to go and get it somewhere else, right? Whether it be professional, whether it be whatever, that's up to me. But, like, I need to go and do this somewhere else. if she's not willing to do that, then you need to walk. That was my, that was my thing, because you're just going to be living in misery otherwise the rest of your life. And I think the other thing I said was, if you're really stuck for it and you think she might really be against it, but it might save your marriage, maybe look into it on your own time and don't say anything, right? And that was the borderline thing, which was a bit naughty, but I still stand by it. I still, what you she don't know can't hurt her and stuff. But like, if you're not getting it and it's gonna tear your marriage apart, you'll be surprised the amount of ladies out there who'd be like, yeah, go on then. Do you know what I mean? Like, you'd be so surprised. It's more of if you're on a spiritual connection with this person and you love them to pieces, but they're just not interested in that anymore, and you're like in your 50s, do you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of ladies out there who'd be like, yeah, I don't mind as long as you don't bring it home. I don't mind. As long as you don't stay out, you don't sleep anywhere else, you come back to me. But apart from that, no problem. I've known couples like that. I've literally known couples who've done that, and it's kept their marriage alive, and they end up together for the rest of their lives because she doesn't. It's like don't ask, don't tell sort of thing, Doesn't ask. So, well, yeah, but I did catch flack for that though. But it's just, it's one of them things, man. It's a sticky situation, or it's not, and that's the problem. Anyway, Steph goes into the Hall of Shame. Well done to Steph. I don't think anybody turned up in the chat to claim that vote down.
Yeah. Let's see Pedro Pascal getting attacked.
Rinsed. Good.
I did see a thing that said it's strange that he didn't seem to have anxiety around what's her name from Last of Us, the co-star.
Oh yeah, the kid. Yeah. I mean, that would be very odd.
It would be, but I think she's an adult now.
I mean, she still looks like a gremlin. But no, oh no.
Just some advice. I know she's very upset with the memes. Do not rage about the memes. It does you no good. Just lean into it.
If you're in a meme, accept that the internet has now made you a celebrity and embrace it. Yeah, that's me. Awesome. And it goes away. It goes away. Within days to get sick of it. The minute you let them know they're getting to you, it's over. It's finished. Absolutely finished. This is why I lean into the hate I get from Sig Marxism. Like, I just love it. I'd lean right into it. I'm like, yeah, go on. Hate me. Oh, it's great. Number one, it's a mark of honor. Like, Sig Marxism not liking you is definitely a mark of honor. And number two, it's on Reddit, so who cares? And, but like, some people do care. I don't, It's one of those. Okay, let me spat my drink out. Okay, what's next? What do we have next?
Alright. I have to do this one, because we haven't had one yet.
Yeah, dealer's choice.
Alright.
Go for it, yeah.
We have Jim the Vile. He's a Space Wolf player, but he's also one of those creatures. And this is from Madre, and the Nightmares, the Games Workshop manager deletes horrid hobbyist from store.
Okay.
A young girl comes into the store, wants to play. This guy takes her up on the match and then starts making some very inappropriate comments. One of which being, when she moved to reach over some dice, he says, "Whoa, you're going to take someone eye out with those." This girl's about 14, if I remember.
Oh, never mind. I know I had in my head that's perverted but very funny. No, this is actually not funny anymore. Yeah.
And when the manager sees what's going on, tries to shut it down, said because they didn't, I believe, book the table. And I think this was one of the other issues this guy had, is that the new manager was basically had these booking table rules,
Right.
and he wasn't a fan of that. And he, I believe, said, "Not more of this booking table nonsense. We are finishing this game. I'm about to pull this back. Don't cramp my style, man."
Okay.
With a 14-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, did he know she was 14?
I believe so.
Yeah, or at least he heavily suspected, because she looks 14.
Like,
Okay.
I think everyone knew. I mean, like...
Dude, you'd be surprised how many people in the hobby are like this. And I don't mean like, everyone's like, I don't mean that at all. I mean like 1 in 10 would be generous, you know what I mean? But like, I think it's like 1 in 20. But 1 in 20 will be not like full on nonsense, but like, almost there. They can make a pervy comment every now and again, you know what I mean? They probably will never act on it, but they're always gonna, they don't really have those boundaries. I don't know whether some of it is labeled in autism or whatever. They don't really know where the boundaries are, what they should and shouldn't be doing. But it does strike me as, I mean, it's serious. Like, it's serious.
Oh, yeah.
How does it end? How does that hobby nightmare end?
I think, yeah, the manager basically banned him, I believe. If I remember correctly. And I think she still comes to the hobby store. And I think it was a GW manager, and I think GW was contacted. And they took it, and I believe you've said GW are very good in these.
They are shit hot.
Circumstances.
Yeah, they
which is great.
They take it very, very seriously. Like one of the first hobby nightmares I put on from my own store was my manager confronting somebody like this, and we had him upstairs in the stock room. We wouldn't let him leave, because basically you're making a citizen's arrest, when you're calling the police. And again, don't get me wrong, I've said this before and I'll say it again. As a Games Workshop manager or any hobby store manager, you're getting a slice of life of the hobby. You're getting everybody. So you're getting that vertical slice of the hobby. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of these people than as usual. But that still means they're out there, and that still means they're in the hobby. And working in the hobby, I did come across quite a lot of guys like this. And the fact that Games Workshop have a protocol at all, and Games Workshop are not a company the size of Disney, all right? So Disney also have a protocol because they're Disney, But for a company the size of Games Workshop to have a protocol about this should show you how many people are in the hobby who are like this, and how important it is for you to be an upstanding citizen and to be a good ambassador for us playing with toy soldiers, because it's weird enough as it is. Right, so we need people to stand up and be normal chads, be normal gents about this. What was this guy's name?
Jim the Vile is what I called him.
Jim the Vile. Jim the Vile. Going in the Hall of Shame? It depends. I mean, I definitely think he should go in because of what he did. But it's the level he goes in.
Well, I think one of the things is the girl got so uncomfortable, she put her jacket on. She had I think a corn hoodie or something she put on.
A woman of taste. Okay. That's like a level 3. Then if you've made somebody that uncomfortable, and it's a level 3. Like if she didn't even know what was going on, or you could misconstrue what he was saying as kind of innocent, then maybe like level 1, level 2. But level 3 definitely for me. Bass says that's a worrying percentage. Maybe. Rolando, since you wanted to own that that vote before for Steph, would you mind putting it in a little message for the chat? Because I know you did it before, but I'm doing like 4 things at once and listening to things and reading things. So if you could do that for me, We'll talk about it in a sec. All right. 1 in 20 is still a lot. It is, but I would say it's probably higher in other forms of this hobby. So, I'd say it's higher in Magic the Gathering, Pokemon cards, things where there isn't as much of a high percentage of old men, being the greybeards of the hobby. That's what we have in 40k, and you don't really have that and you don't have it in Magic the Gathering. You don't really have it in Pokemon, whatever. But you do have it in Warhammer. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Nonce is also top tier, says Brass. Yeah, I agree. I believe the story took place in the summer as well. Right, okay. Oh, cool.
It did.
Cool.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Okay.
I remember that.
So I'm not gonna do a round of applause for this one because it's quite dark. But he is in the Hall of Shame. There you go, another 100%er. We've had 3 100%ers tonight, and I think they've all been well deserved. To be honest with you. Whilst Rolando is typing up his defense of Steph. Good luck with that. Shall we see what we're doing next?
All right. Let's go for one that's not really clear. Like, should it go in the Hall of Fame? All right. We have the Imperial Tart and the Simp.
It's a classic. Come on. It's
This is from Andrew R. And this is basically where a girl and her boy join a Warhammer fantasy campaign and tries to change the Warhammer world with communism and gets herself and most of the Bretonian village killed when the reality of the world comes knocking. Then rage quits at the end.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, there are a bunch of things. I think she basically hijacks the whole session.
Yeah.
And insists on signs being put up in the Bretonian village.
Isn't this unreal. The one where she's like on like a literal soapbox and she's like giving a speech, and the Lord just turns up and she's like, "We demand workers' rights," and he's like, "Workers' rights," and then just skewers her. Like literally just kills her straight away.
No, he doesn't kill her straight away.
Oh.
So he tells her and the party with the peasants to march into the field where the men at arms and them can do combat.
Right.
And she does get killed in the end.
Right.
But the funny part was the peasants couldn't basically hold themselves. So the GM was very good because the communism belief is very attractive to a lot of people. So the young people were very into it, but the elderly people were not so keen on it.
Yeah, sure.
So they couldn't restrain themselves. So they were eventually rioting and overturning like stalls and things. And she wanted signs to be put up, and when the GM says no one's literate, she says that's not very realistic.
Yeah, you're in Bretonia, like no one can read. What are you talking about? Like it's Bretonia. They just shovel shit all day. They shovel all shit. That's what they do. They eat all shit.
And I think when she stood up on the soapbox, she got some booing from some peasants, and she said that was passive sexism.
I mean, some people, man, you gotta respect it. You gotta respect that. She stuck the landing there.
Yeah.
What was her name? Imperial Tart.
Well, I didn't write it down. I've called her the Imperial Tart and the Simp because her boy. I think the writer said he's as happy as a clam, and I think you said he might have one himself.
Okay. So when people when people repeat these things back to me, right? I think that wasn't me because I don't think I'm that funny or witty. But obviously I did say it, but it's not the first time someone if I meet somebody for a pint, I'll go, "Oh, it was great when you said that," and I was like, "I'm sure you misremembered it. I wouldn't have said that. I'm not that quick. I don't have that brain that works that quickly."
You're a funny guy, man.
Thank you, man. So Imperial Tart and Simp going in the Hall of Shame. We'll see. This one's going to be split because like it is funny and endearing how stupid she is. And I do quite like the fact that the GM did a really good job of saying like, well, the young people are into it, but the old people aren't. Like, that's very clever.
Yeah.
That's very good. Like, I like that, you know. But then again, it's not about them going in the Hall of Fame. It's about the woman and her boyfriend going in the Hall of Fame.
I believe it was the player, though, the GM that actually said the Lord, the Bretonian Lord, said, "You needn't all die for some Imperial Tart."
Oh.
Which I think he said you can like basically beg for forgiveness and I'll forgive you, and you said no, they should all be dead.
Yeah, they should have been written down.
Not.
It should have been just like another Tuesday for the Lord. You know, target practice. He just rides them all down, and that's the end of the campaign. And you know, because some people don't deserve to play in the old world and to have fun in it. So there you go.
Yeah, chat. So are they bad? Like, was that so bad that they should go into the worst of the worst?
Yeah. I think for how entertaining it is, some people give people. I know you are as well. I know some of you will be giving this person a pass because it was just quite a funny listen. It is genuinely quite funny. But
did wreck a whole guy's campaign. Could have had a longer campaign, and there's a lot of work a GM goes into.
You're so gutted she's going to get away with this, aren't you?
Oh, I don't know. Half of me is fine with it because the story is just so good and it's funny. But another half of me feels as a DM myself, I know how much work goes in, and if you just got someone that's just derailing your whole campaign.
To be fair, though, he could have called it any time, said, listen, this isn't appropriate for the old world, so why don't we call it and we'll play D&D next week? You know, he didn't have to carry on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people, as I said, some people don't deserve to play in the old world. And being a good GM is being able to realise that that's the case. Anyway, let's call it there. So she avoids the Hall of Shame. There you go. There's another one. Let's go back to Rolando, though. You said, this is about Steph. Okay. He said, to be fair, I didn't know what levels of abuse Steph went to, but if it's a hot woman like, say, Sasha Grey, then I maybe would bend the rules and even go for an open relationship, as there are levels of hotness and women so intoxicating that you would sacrifice things just to be with her. Sounds like a total simp, and the relationship probably would be over 1 month after the addiction to her ends, for a while at least. Who is Sasha Grey? Let me just...
I don't recognize her. What is she in?
I have a funny feeling I know what kind of a person this is.
Oh, okay.
But this isn't on there. She's alright. She looks like, do you know Sydney Watson? She's like a conservative journalist.
Yes. She's Australian or something.
Yeah, she looks like a more masculine-faced, hotter version of her, basically. She's okay.
I could see.
I mean, to be honest with you, she's lovely, but at the same time, she's not put up with all of that lovely. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I'm saying? The minute like a woman like that was like, I'm going to sleep with this other person. Can you look after my baby? No. You mean?
I'm sorry.
Go on.
For me, if anyone's asking me, open a relationship, no, I'm out. Like, you go do what you want to do. Not for me.
Sasha Grey, a good 7 out of 10, I would say. A good 7 out of 10. But, that's just me. Who's next? What are we doing next?
Here's one that I think is another one that might be. I think it's got a good chance, but I think it might. I could see it going to no. We got Andrew, the lazy lizard.
Okay.
So Andrew, this is from Madeline, and it's the greatest hobby nightmare of all time, question mark. North loses his mind. Petty idiot ruins WFB event. So Andrew, I believe this is in the Netherlands, and they have this big, I think it's Warhammer Fantasy Battles tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And Andrew basically figures out if he can keep calling for a draw, as he keeps making excuses for not showing up to the match, and paints the absolute minimum to win basically the competition. So he basically, you want to arrange a game, and he comes up with a million excuses, then calls for a draw. You probably get irritated, call for a draw, and then he worked out based on points, if he keeps the system up, he basically can win the whole thing without really lifting a finger, and does 3 colors on his lizard men. And then when Madeline actually insists on playing him, she plays North's favorite ogres.
Mm-hmm.
And he cheats in-game with made-up rules, overusing the number of points on equipment. I think you're only allowed so many points on magical items or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, just making up stuff on the fly. Madeline, though, does beat him.
In the end,
and he doesn't win the competition. But absolutely insufferable, like, guy, just absolutely, to get a game with him, you will feel like you're being pulled apart by this dude. Just, yeah, it's very irritating guy.
There's 2 things I really hate. I said I'm gonna have to go into this first. The first thing is people who like to be a dick in plain sight with justification, quote unquote. Do you know what I mean? Like saying, well, the rules let me do that, so, or technically you don't have any rules saying I can't be a piece of shit in your Discord server, so, you know, that kind of stuff. That is cowardly and I hate it. The other thing is hypocrites, and these people fall into that category as well. So my missus has just tried to go and see a band called System of a Down, and any of you who will know System of a Down are very anti-capitalist and very, you know, screw the man, and very left-wing, right? Very, very lefty, but they do good music. Guess how much the tickets cost to go see them in London? £350, folks. £350.
And we're anti-capitalist.
Anti-capitalist, yes. And, you know, and these aren't good seats. These are seats right at the back. These are seats, you know, and the obstructed view ones where you can't even see the band because of the roof. You know how much they are? £175. So, yeah, those kinds of people can go suck a dick, basically. Like, I can't stand them. And it's why, you know, I don't like Rage Against the Machine. They do good music, but I don't like them personally, because how much is to go and see them? A lot of money. If they came back again, it would cost an arm and a mortgage payment to go and see them live, right? And that they're sitting there, you know, singing about anti-capitalism, this, and the evils of money, that. Go fuck yourself.
I have to say, sorry to interrupt. I do have to say, I did hear someone who spoke about this exact thing with Rage Against the Machine, and he said, how can you complain, how can you rage against the machine when you are the machine?
Yeah, exactly. You are the machine. Like, what are you talking about? It's you. So yeah, like, and guys like this are very much, guys like Andrew, sorry, the Butch Drew, guys like this Andrew guy, they will say all the time, the rules let me do it, so I'm not cheating. They will try and get you on a technicality. They'll try and get you on a black and white, well, you're being unfair because the rules didn't say I couldn't do this, so because you're making an exception for me, you're being unfair to me, right? And I've had to put up with this on the Discord before, and I I just hated it, and I was like, dude, this is pathetic, because you'd get people saying really heinous shit to other people, but then saying, well, technically there's no rule against it, so it's like, yeah, but that's because, you know, we shouldn't need a rule. You know, it's the very same reason why I campaign against role-playing game safety tools, like completely. Yeah. It's this very same reason why. The minute you need those in your game, you're admitting that your game has these people in it that who are just the worst. You know what I mean? And you know, it's not a game worth playing if you need those safety tools, because if you have somebody at the table who's going to act like an absolute little cretin, unless you have specific rules denying them the access to do that, don't play with that person. Very simple.
Yeah, no.
You know, if James is sitting at your table and you need an anti-grape rule, or he's going to try and grape people in the game at the table, don't play with him. Just go somewhere else. Go do something else. Don't give him the time of day. Same thing goes for this guy Andrew as well. Like if you need a rule to stop this guy doing what he's doing, he should have just been disqualified in the very first round. Like, we know what you're doing. Piss off, basically. Maybe not first round, because you got to have some sort of evidence there. So maybe 2 or 3 rounds in, sod off, mate. We know what your game is. And you know what he would do? He would bitch and whine and moan, and he would get people to try and boycott your game because you're saying this isn't fair. They're targeting me. They're doing this. They're doing that. Right? You know, he's trying to make it seem like you're going after him and it's unfair to him, even though you shouldn't need a rule against what he's doing, because what he's doing is being a dick. You know, like, why? You know, Bass. Sorry, go on, mate.
No. I was just going to say, I told you chat would get him going.
Yeah. Bass Browser says, Rage got Christmas #1 to screw Simon Cowell and Britain's Got Talent. Turns out he was still in control of their label and got their bank anyway. There you go. So Jen says, that's crazy. The entire Glastonbury ticket this year with Muse, Coldplay, Beck, New Order, ZZ Top, ELO, and The Killers was that price. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's pathetic. And, you know, it's always those bands as well. Because, like, Disturbed are around about the same size as System, right? In terms of how popular they are. Very well-known band. And going to see them, it was like 45 quid. Good seats. Seated good seats. 45 quid. And they are a conservative band. They are you know, they are very, they don't throw it in your face, because, you know, conservative bands don't tend to do that. They have family values, they're, you know, good lads, and they get on with it. And they're in the system, yeah, but they don't charge you an arm and a leg, because they have morals and moral fortitude and a backbone. The lady doth protest too much, is what I'm trying to say. If you've got a band or a person who likes to postulate and tell you about the evils of capitalism, you can bet your bottom dollar they're the ones profiting the most from said capitalism, I'm telling you. Right? It's the same thing as these fucking idiots going on complaining about the modern world and the evils of Western civilization whilst using their iPad. Right? It's just like... Yeah, anyway.
But North, we need to operate within that system. We need to fight it, so we need to use it in order to destroy it. Someday.
Chop them up, throw them in the Mersey. So, Andrew, the cheat, going into the...
I think you did. I was going to say you also did call out, I think, the staff of the tournament, saying they should have gotten rid of this guy earlier.
Oh, by the way, when I say chop them up, throw them in the Mersey, I mean the system. What they're talking about. I mean them. Don't be doing that. Don't be following around System of a Down on my dime, all right? Don't be doing that. We don't condone that kind of thing here. No. But what they're talking about, the whole thing, chop it up, get it in the Mersey. Chuck it in, and, you know, weigh it down. It can go away. Don't like that argument.
And I'll just remind everyone with voting this, remember, it's several people, and the amount of time he's probably wasted.
Yeah. He
Just
got all the
everyone
way to
trying
the
sort
final
things.
round. Yeah.
Yeah.
He got all the way to the final round. Hikari saying Custodes players who hate female Custodes buying new models from Games Workshop. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. People whinging about, Games Workshop and then going, well, here, and then opening their bank account to them. Yeah, exactly. Fire Knight says, those people are just people who want to look like they are doing something but aren't helping the cause at all. It's not just that, man. If you were just wanting to look like you were being a good guy but not actually doing anything, that's one thing. It's you wanting to look like a good guy and then actually not being a good guy and being a part of the problem. That's where I draw the line. That's who System of a Down are. That's who Rage Against the Machine are. Like, they're literally professing... The lady doth protest too much. They're professing to be this, when actually they're the opposite, right? They're campaigning against the very thing that they are, which is, Andrew is in the Hall of Shame, ladies and gentlemen. He's in. Screw you for messing up somebody's campaign. Enjoy the pineapples the long way. Alrighty. I think we're down to 2 now, right? What have we got next?
Yeah, I only got 2 left, actually. You're right. Someone's been keeping count. Alright. This one is a bit different. So we'll do Tweedle Doo-Doo and Tweedle Dead Dog. So... This is...
Who writes this stuff? He writes these titles. It's ridiculous.
Well, this one actually was me. I did this one.
Okay.
But you'll see why. So, I think he called him... They called him Wee Wee or Poo Poo or something. This pair. Sorry, whoever sent this Hobby Nightmare. I, for some reason, don't have your name. But the Hobby Nightmare's foul neckbeard ruins a 40k bro's early hobby years. A truly disgusting hobby nightmare. So, apparently it's a father-son duo. Stinky, burping and farting all over the place. They take over 13 and 14-year-old kids' games, whereas they start helping them, and then eventually they're the ones moving the models and rolling the dice and everything. And these poor teenagers have found out they've been kicked out of the game. Incredibly smelly, make people want to gag. Then the father, I believe, is seen at a hot dog place, and the kid tries to pretend like he doesn't know him, and he keeps asking, "What are you getting? What are you getting?" And the kid says, "A hot dog," and he says, "Oh, what sauce are you getting?" And he says, "Nothing. I'm just gonna have, just the bun and the hot dog." And he's like, "Hot dog? It's a dead dog." And then he ignores him. "Dead dog. Dead dog." And this guy just keeps shouting "dead dog" to this 13-year-old. When he runs out the store, he's still shouting "dead dog."
That's
and then at a later point, kids eating a nice Subway, the guy burps in his face, spit flying onto his Subway.
Oh no. Oh no. Don't mess with the man's food. Especially not a kid who's only got a limited amount of money to buy said food. Come on, man. That's low-key the lowest thing we've heard about today. I'm not even lying. That's horrible. Why would you do that? Okay, I don't think this needs debating too much. I don't think this needs debating too much. Let's throw this guy in. Let's get him in there. Dead.
So this is him and his son.
Dog and son in the Hall of Shame. Yeah, come on. there's being revolting, and there's being revolting and ruining somebody's day with it. And that's where we are. It was back when Subway was still good too, says Big Guns. Says Big Gus, sorry. Yeah, I remember when Subway was good back on the day.
Don't have many Subways here in South Africa.
So there's one time when I told my missus about it like months ago, and she was just laughing at me. There was a Subway by my grandpa's house, and I was really hungover, and I went in after a gig with my leather jacket on and just like shades and still looking like I was trying to hide the fact that I was just collapsing. And there was this girl behind the counter, and looked like a bit of a goth, you know, as you do. She's doing all the stuff, and she mumbles something about we're doing a survey. She gave me my Subway, and gave me my receipt. I said, she mumbled something about we're doing a survey, and here a Subway survey. They're doing a survey, and also here's my number or something like that, right? She gave it to me, and I was like, oh yeah, thanks, yeah. And I walked out, and that's walked out because I want my Subway, right? So I walked out, and I got home, I ate my Subway, and spoke to my grandpa. And then I finally got the receipt, and I was like, "Why is there a number on the back of it with a smiley face on it?" And name was Laura, right? It's funny because my missus' name is Laura as well. So I was like, "What the fuck's going on there?" And it just clicked, like, "Oh, this is like a day later." So obviously the moment has passed, right? Dude. I've just gone, "Thanks," and then just kind of walked out with my Subway, and just blanked her. And then like the next day, I'm just like, "Oh yeah, that's what that." Oh god. So like. Ladies, sometimes it's not that we're not interested. Sometimes we're just really retarded, and that's just what happens. Yeah, but Subway, that's my little Subway story.
I just wonder what she was thinking. She's like, "Oh, this dude barely flinched. He must be getting numbers left, right, and center."
Yeah, well, at that moment, I would have have liked a date. I was like really up for it. I was like, yeah, I'm sick of being on my own. And then, so I felt really bad afterwards. I was like, oh no, because I can't just go back. And to be fair, I had to go back and get Subway a few times. And like, she was always at that one part of if she was at the till when I went in, she'd do something else. Do you know what I mean? Like she'd actually remove herself from the till, get somebody to cover her, and then go do something. So wherever I was on the line of getting in my Subway, she'd go to the part before that. Do you know what I'm saying? So... She
wasn't happy you didn't call immediately.
She was not happy, man. Like, she was not happy. I wouldn't be surprised if I got any, saliva in my Subway, but that's, yeah. Anyway, Dead Dog and Son are in the Hall of Shame. Well done. Well done, Dead Dog and Son. In they go.
Someone hit no by accident. No worries, we won't judge you.
I judge myself for that last one. Alrighty.
Last one.
What is our last one?
Our last one is Harry, the weakest Skaven.
Okay, alright, okay. Weird. Let's go for it.
Harry likes to pick up dice really quickly. Oh, this is from Lone Guardsman. I won't tell what the video is called till the end because I don't want to spoil the surprise. But he picks up dice really quickly. He signs his name in the tournament as Harry, future tournament winner.
I like this guy already. Okay. I like this guy already.
You have to give... You're not supposed to bring really meta lists. It needs to be fluffy lists, and you need to have a nice narrative behind your army, which we narrative guys love. Well, here's Harry's narrative. His craft world is all about winning. That's it.
It's just a craft world of Charlie Sheen's.
Yeah. Proclaims to the writer, "You are the unlucky first victim." Wins the whole tournament. Is then outed by the tournament organizer, caught using loaded dice.
To be fair, to get all this way and to have the first loaded dice of the evening is quite a feat. I will say that.
Yeah. And wasn't even shameful. His big speech was when he had won and was about to receive his prize, that since everyone hated his bike so much, he's going to buy a ton more with his prize money.
This is like mustache twirling levels.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, how old is this guy?
I have no idea, but sounded like an adult. It definitely wasn't a teenager.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think the writer did say they felt sorry for him when he was outed, because like he went pale and then everyone's like staring at you, but then he remembered like how brazen and arrogant he was throughout the whole tournament and just unpleasant, and then he didn't feel sorry for him anymore. This was from the Hobby Nightmare 40k tournament cheater outed in front of Tyre event. The most cathartic end ever.
I can kind of see why. Like, I have really massive. I should probably finish that sentence. I have very massive empathy glands, I think. So like, it doesn't matter what you've done. If there's a crowd who are after you and having a go at you all at once, I automatically feel sympathy, and I want to get you out of there. Be like, hey, enough. Depending on what you've done, of course. But like, I think even if you've done something truly heinous, there'd be that part of my soul that still goes, whoa, 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 whoa. You know what I mean? Like, try and get them out of there. Even though I wouldn't want to do that for certain crimes, you know what I mean? There would still be that part of me. So that's the kind of part of me that would surface if I was seeing somebody be torn down in this way. Like, say, yeah, you cheated the entire tournament. I think from what I remember, he was giving the prizes out, wasn't he? Was he giving the prizes out? And he said,
no, as the prize was about to be given to him,
right.
He basically, it's got that Steve Austin meme. That's how the emailer described it. That the tournament organizer was suddenly smiling, and then he wasn't.
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah. Yeah, I remember this.
And said you need to roll for your bonus prize, or how to determine anything. And he said use these, and then the guy didn't seem very happy when he was handed his loaded dice to roll.
Oh my god, I remember this. I need to find that meme. Sorry, I need to find that meme.
No worries.
With Steve Austin.
Been playing through my head the whole week.
My god. Oh my god. Yeah, it's this one, yeah. It's like my
You are
favourite
so
thing.
lucky. Can I have a go? All sixes.
Yeah.
What lucky dice.
Yeah. Wow. You got another 6. Roll them again. It's like, I'd rather not. Seriously, roll them again. Like, sort of a thing. Here he is. I'm going to put him underneath my face. There we go. Now, finally, I'm sharing the screen with Steve Austin. That's my dream. There you go. So, yeah. Dude, like, this is so... It's brilliant. Like, it's just, like, everything... I remember this now. Like, it's so vivid. Like, yeah, he's just getting more and more aggressive with him. Like, that's amazing, dude. Roll him again. You never know. Wonder if you'll get another 6. Oh my god, you got another 6! Everyone give him a round of applause. And he's like, yeah, this guy cheated the entire time and he can go fuck himself. Let's see where we are with our... loaded dice guy. guy
Harry.
going in. Oh, loaded dice, Harry. Going in Hall of Shame. There we go. Loaded dice, Harry. My God, I love it.
For me, it's just the arrogance. I can't stand arrogance.
Mm.
So I have to. It's just, you know, you got loaded dice and you're pretending like it's all your skill, and you're just so, like, even at the end, just, oh, I noticed how everyone didn't like my jack bike, so I'm gonna buy a ton more with my prize money.
Yeah. Giving it all that. Seeing that Steve Austin meme just cracks me up. Every time. It's where he said it's like the meme, and I just had to put it on screen, man. It's so good.
No. Very appropriate.
Well done. Oh my God. Loaded dice, Harry. Well, I think, yeah, it's 100%. So yeah, I think we're gonna call it there. We're gonna call him Loaded Dice Harry. Congratulations, sir. You are our last inductee into the Hall of Shame. First time. We're gonna probably do 2 of these a year, I think. We'll do one halfway through and then one at the end of the year. But Loaded Dice Harry is in the Hall of Shame, and we will get, at the bottom of this video, there will of course be a full list of the Hobby Nightmares that were in question. We will whack them down there so you can go and check them out on the backlog if you want to. Thank you very much for joining me and Board. Thank you for joining me, dude. And those of you on YouTube, we'll see you again soon. Say goodbye, chat. See you later. Have a good one.
Cheers, everyone.
There we go. Ah, lovely. Lovely old job. I'm going to leave Steve Austin up there, because it just makes me laugh so much. Start having his little face. Oh my God. Yeah, literally every single time. See this tournament organizer just like clapping his hands, then just stops and just gives him like this dead stare. Like just, I really wish I could have been there, but that'd been amazing. That'd be amazing.
Oh, there's so many. Some of these Hobby Nightmares, I wish I could have been there. Just to see these guys. Oh.
Yeah, we're not going yet, folks. We'll be around another 10-15 minutes. So yeah, we finished the recording, but not the stream.
Like the video, everyone. Come on, I only see 3 likes.
Yeah, I can't like it myself. I know there's 8 here. Yeah, there's 8.
Oh, is there 8?
But like it anyway. Motherfuckers.
Like it still.
Not like it. Yeah.
Share the video. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Let's get north to that 40k. He'll play a bard. And
Bards. If there's ever been another red flag in a D&D campaign, it's, I've got a loot. Oh, do you? Do you really?
Get north to dress up as Lemon Russ for Halloween.
It's just dressing up as a vampire. A Viking. It's not a huge deal. There'll be a lot of people who don't even get your Lehman Rust. They'll be like, yeah, you're some Viking dude.
Would have to put a sign on you that says Space Wolves rule, Grey Knights suck, or something.
Absolutely. I'll have to. I wonder how big that video was in terms of gigs. It was 20. Not bad.
Wow.
Not bad. Yeah, I'll whack it up next weekend, I think. Saturday. There we go. Renamed and ready to go. Saying that, and get rid of some of these. So YouTube stopped accepting, what are these files called? They're called VKM files, I think. MKV. So they stopped accepting MKV files without telling anybody, so everyone was panicking, including much bigger YouTubers than me were like, oh my god, because all of their videos weren't being uploaded. They were uploading and then getting like an error message. It's like, oh my god, how are we going to pay our bills? And then finally, like, I think somebody... well, I figured out for myself, but I think other people, like, you know, they got told that, yeah, it's not accepting those formats. You got to put it in MP4, then it'll work. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Whack that over there. Lovely stuff.
I just can't stop staring at Steve.
Yes, glorious Steve, isn't he? Glorious Steve. Gerard says, heading to the UK in October, going to head to Nottingham. Other than Warhammer World, what other recce's do you have? Depends, man. Avoid London. Like, do the few tourist things, but like get out of London as quickly as you can. Port cities. So Newcastle, Liverpool, Edinburgh. Cool, you know. Head to those if you want to have a drink and want to have a party. Apart from that, not really. Come in the summer if you can. Yeah, it sucks. Oh, York at Christmas. Very good. Very fun. You know, there are lots of areas that are pretty fun over Christmas in the UK. But in terms of, what do you say, in October? I don't know, you know. Where'd be good for Halloween? York could also be good in Halloween, actually. No, yeah, pretty good in Halloween. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Go to Spain instead. There you go. There's my recommendation. Heading for work, unfortunately. Well, if you're going to be in UK for work, then there's not much you can do, really, is there? Nottingham is a decent city even without going to Warhammer World. So, yeah. You're doing the thing. You're going to Warhammer World. That's what you want to do, right? You want to be going to Warhammer World. Yeah, you got that boxed off. It never amazes me that the lads who came to Exile Fest ended up going to Warhammer World the next day. I was like, what? How? Like, I was so tired on the Sunday. Like, I was done. I was absolutely done. And I was on kind of like a come down. Like I was like, oh, it's over. It's done. Like, this thing I'd been planning for. So how people got up and, like, they went for breakfast. They went, and it was like, it was the meeting of the West Coast US guy who wears sandals everywhere, even though he doesn't. It's Julian, doesn't wear sandals, but he's one of them guys like totally chill and will just go and do things just for the sake of doing things. Like, he just hopped on a flight to Exile Fest just cause, you know, I mean, you know, that kind of an attitude. And then you've got like Shemek, who's from Poland, and like, you know what I mean, the Polish and the Eastern Europeans, they don't give a shit. They will just get up and just, hey, it is now 4:30 a.m. and I am making the start of my journey to Warhammer World from Timbuktu, and they'll just go and end up there, you know. And then there's me going, dude, I could not take that today. I'd be like, because I'd be walking around Warhammer World just going, I could be enjoying this, but I absolutely hate it because I'm tired, you know.
Well, they didn't have to plan the whole event and run the thing.
That's also true.
They probably had more energy than you, but they also might be those kind of people that, like, other people don't drain them. That like they steal life from other people. It fuels them, the energy, and they just get more hyped up.
I'm very much the kind of person where, you know, I do need a break from people every once in a while. Like, I will just stop and be like, no, I'm done. I'm done. Like, I can't, you know, I love you all, but I need some time. I need a day just to do nothing, you know, and not be around you all for a bit. But yeah, a lot of people will be like, well, isn't that antisocial? Yes. Moving on.
Some people need their alone time.
some people do need their alone time. That is true. That is very, very true.
Yeah. Some people find, particularly introverts, people very draining. And it's like...
Yeah.
soul-sucking to be around people.
Yeah.
Not saying I'm like that, but I know people.
Yeah.
Like, they go to, like, a wedding or something, and they need to be away from people for, like, a month.
Yeah, Steady said, yeah, social reserves. I think for me, it's like social battery, I call it. Like, social battery needs recharging. Like, I'm done now. Like, I'm all good when it's full, or even half full. I'm good to go. But when it's gone, it's gone, and I want to go home. I just want to go chill. And to be honest, 24 hours later, I'm ready to go again. Like, I bounce back very quickly from it. I know other people who, like, it takes them, like, a week before they even want to be seen in a pub, never mind go in a pub, you know. And... like, with me, like 24 hours is all I need, and then I'll be right back at it again. Like, right, okay, cool. Who's going out? Who's going to be doing this? Who's going to be doing that? So yeah, that's very much where I am on that. Going to be in Edinburgh, maybe Liverpool. Edinburgh is great, man. Edinburgh is really cool. I have a little walk around Edinburgh, yeah. Lots of cool bars there. Liverpool, yeah. Get in contact on the Discord. I'll take you for a pint if you're in Liverpool. No excuse if you're around my neck of the woods. Yeah.
I'll take you to the battle cruiser.
Yeah. Don't have any of those anymore, mate. All gone. All gone.
The boozer, the battle cruiser.
Oh, the boozer. Yeah. Many of those. All right, I'm going to call it there. We're at nearly 10:30. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, folks. Thanks for joining me. Board. That was awesome. And
anytime, dude. Really enjoyed it.
We will see you all tomorrow. Sunday for some Cyberpunk 2087. So we'll see you then. I'll give you a little preview whilst we're going. So I'll see you later. Have a good one. Bye now.
Cheers, everyone.